Today we're going to be showing you around hidden gems in all 5 boroughs of New York City, and we're really going to concentrate on places that may surprise you as being part of the Big Apple. You'll see. All right, here's the story. One of my subscribers reached out and pitched this unique journey to me, so I'm about to meet a stranger off the internet and hop into his van. What could possibly go wrong? Nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you. You suggested Sergeant's Deli as your favorite deli. Yeah. I said that cannot be better than Katz, and I actually went to taste it, and the sandwich was better than Katz.
I told you, I knew it.
That is when I became a fan.
Some goosebumps for what we're about to show you. So you can come and see where Ebbets Field used to be home of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers played their last game here in 1957. It was demolished. Ebbets Field, 1960. The Ebbets Field apartments were built all around me here. It pretty much takes up 2 blocks. This is where Ebbets Field home plate was, right here. This is the site where Jackie Robinson in 1947 broke the color barrier of baseball. This is one of the most significant moments in all of sports history, and here it is on the side of an apartment building. That is absolutely insane that you can stand where Jackie Robinson stood, right on a sidewalk.
This history that people don't know or just don't pay attention to. The longest single span expansion bridge in the world. And what that means is it's only one expansion from that single expansion.
And guys, you cannot walk the Verrazano Bridge going to Staten Island from Brooklyn. Only cars. We're going up Tot Hill in Staten Island, and I already feel like I am way outside of New York City, somewhere like upstate New York maybe.
To me, it's the most beautiful area of Staten Island that I've been to.
Look how big these houses are up here. You know what this kind of reminds me of? This reminds me of like the hills in Los Angeles. I'm gonna give you a clue what movie was filmed here. Keep your friends close, keep your subscribers closer. This is where Don Corleone lived in The Godfather. And Michael, right up the street. This was the house where the wedding in the original Godfather was filmed, right here, 110 Longfellow Ave. Can you believe that this was filmed here?
No, not at all, because it's out of place compared to the other homes.
The Godfather is one of my favorite movies of all time, and we are walking on some of their biggest filming locations.
This was filmed on Long Island.
I mean, it was supposed to be Long Island.
Yeah.
I did include Forest Hills Gardens in my Forest Hills video, but for today's theme of just hidden gems in all 5 boroughs, we had to stop by Forest Hills Gardens. And this is actually one of the oldest planned communities in the United States. It is modeled after British garden cities. So it has that vibe like you're in the UK, or I don't know, Harry Potter vibes, Tudor style homes. Absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite places in all of New York City. I'd say just to walk around and stare at the houses with actual, like, you know, sidewalks. On Staten Island, there was no sidewalks there. Here, tons of sidewalks. Very accessible, very unique, very beautiful. Every time I come to Forest Hills Gardens, I fall in love with it a little bit more. You just can't beat that Tudor style of home here. You know, if I had millions upon millions of dollars and I wanted to raise a family, Forest Hills Gardens, you could do a lot worse. These little gates here, it's just so cute, this whole area. I never even heard of Malba, Queens until you mentioned it to me for this video. We've got the White Stone Bridge right there, but I mean the Hamptons of Queens, when we saw it, those homes are absolutely humongous. This is a level of opulence that I didn't know really existed in Queens, but it does. And I think that's something that would surprise a lot of people, is that you have residential neighborhoods like this in just about every borough. You don't drive in New York City, you may never take the White Stone Bridge. So this is actually really cool for me to appreciate a bridge between Queens and the Bronx, which I've only been on a handful of times in my life.
What are the 3 things that starts with the?
In New York?
In the world.
3 things in the world that start with the. The Bronx. What are the other 2?
The Hague, the Vatican. Now, this was originally an amusement park in the turn of the century. They tore it down really early. and now it's called Harding Park, and they built stuff with porches here. So it looks like a vacation home you see in New England, like a New England fishing village.
That's one of the things I love about New York City. There's absolutely nothing cookie cutter about this town. You go from borough to borough, neighborhood to neighborhood, and things can change in an instant. And it could turn into something like this, where you have, look like tiny little summer homes in the Bronx.
It's a co-op community area, very small, not many people know about it. Over there would be Queens, and all the way out in that direction out there would be Long Island.
This totally gives me Jersey Shore vibes, like these little kind of bungalow style homes, or maybe, I don't know, New England fishing village perhaps. Maybe we could settle on that.
Yeah, right? Yeah, he's over with.
Edgewater Park was only put on some official maps about 20 years ago, and that many residents liked that their neighborhood wasn't even on official New York City maps. But here we are, a little hidden seaside village of the Bronx. So cool, it just keeps getting better and better today. We're in our 5th borough of the day. This is the first time in 10 years in New York I've been to all 5 boroughs in one day. Just crossed the Tri-Borough, our 3rd bridge of this journey, but we've got quite a few stops in Manhattan to make. This isn't a hidden gem at all. A lot of people have heard of Patsy's. I've never been here before. The original Patsy's, East Harlem, opened in 1933. Look at this thin slice, big flop. Let's try some New York history. $2 for this, incredible. Yeah. Really small, it's really thin. It's like the perfect grab and go slice for the city. I mean, you can go inside and sit too.
When you sit down and sit, they only serve you the whole pie.
Wow.
And it's cash only. Thin crust. The tomato sauce is very original and unique. It doesn't drip down your face when you're eating it. Hands down, best pizza in the city. Hands down.
Patsy's was Derek Jeter's favorite pizza spot.
Wow. I read some of the history of the Hudson View Gardens here, and it was built in the Tudor Revival style. So you get that Swiss chalet, European, UK architecture here in Inwood. Really fascinating. All these communities of New York City that have these amazing exteriors that from the street you'd wonder, like, what are they doing in Manhattan?
I was a mailman in the 80s. I would open this thing, put the key in, put it back in, go inside, and you had slots in these apartments.
What's amazing about this hidden gem, and it is residential, their apartments called Pomander Walk, is they modeled this after an old British play called Pomander Walk. So, I mean, it looks like you're stepping into Europe in the middle of the Upper West Side. And amazingly, I've been in this area so many times, and I've never actually passed here. There may be a way to get a tour of there, but I'm not aware how you would do it. So you can kind of peek your head through the fence, but your best bet of seeing what's behind this gate is just the surrounding buildings here, because they have the same architecture.
Pretty on the outside, old on the inside.
Tell me in the comments what you thought of this tour. I'm curious. Guys, make sure to subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much for watching, as always. Till next time.